What is up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. It's time to play some more Computer Tycoon, because I know you wanted to see some more of this. So as we're conquering the planet with our empire right now, we don't have a lot of LP going on. I don't know how frequently they generate LP at each of these locations, but I think it's a good idea that we start building some facilities. We're making enough money to where I feel like we can get away with it. And so my suggestion would be, we've got logistics here. Logistics are already good to go. If I upgrade logistics, that means that I'm producing 6 logistics. 6 logistics. Might be a good idea, might not be a good idea. Let's go ahead and I'm going to have an office put in right here. So there we go. And we've got the office all ready to go. I'm going to put in a second factory so that our production continues on the up and up. Here in Finland, we've already got logistics set up here as well. What's the second going to cost us? So for logistics level 2, it's going to cost us 50,000. Oh, it needs a level 2 office. Okay. So let's go ahead and we'll upgrade to a level 2 office. We'll do that in both Ireland, and we will do that in our other locations. So there it is. Let's get the game rolling again. We are going to have a lot of overhead that we're going to have to deal with pretty soon, but I think if we can roll out a new product right at the beginning of the year, and we can make it shiny, and we can make it awesome, I think we're going to be okay. We just got to make this thing sell. Haven't played around with marketing a whole lot yet, but we will. We will. I don't really have... God, we're sitting on $5 million right now. Good, that's what I like to see. Oh my god, the money's just going up right now. We've sold almost 6,000 units. As far as games consoles go, that's probably pretty terrible. But then again, most game consoles don't cost you $2,000. So, you know, we're kind of in a limited market right now where we're trying to get the price of our units down. We're trying to get things taken care of. As soon as our research is done on glass teletype, dude, we need that bad. If we can get glass teletype, I mean, frankly, if all of this stuff can get done, we'll have EEPROM, okay. DRAM. Yeah, I think DRAM will probably help too. And so we're going to get a bunch of performance and quality stuff on this side. So building upgrade is done here. If I wanted to go up to an office, I got to go office level 2. So let's get that going. Office level 2 should be about ready to go here. So let's go ahead and we'll go logistics level 2 as well, so we can get some more LP to play around with. As soon as we can make that happen, there it is. Okay, looks good to me. Our little corporate areas, I think, are going to work out pretty well. I don't know if I have to dictate where my headquarters is going to be just yet, but it looks like the enemy has started to slow their roll. That's how I look at my enemies right now. That's how I look. They're enemies. These are not like people we're trying to impress, you know what I mean? These are people that are after us, trying to take food out our children's mouths, you feel me? We got Belgium right there. Belgium doesn't really have mass... Oh my god, the Netherlands. 160 million people. Okay. You know, I'm going to move into Sweden against my better judgment. I'm going to do it. We don't have the LP. We're going to have to wait on the LP for a second. Once we get the LP, this is going to be rad. We're going to move straight on in and we're going to do our thing. So I'm sort of curious how I run somebody off a corner. Like, how do I take over Estonia? Like, if I want Estonia, how do I get that for myself? So there's some more LP. We're going to go ahead and we are going to take Sweden. So there it is. Sweden is now ours. I think. Is Sweden ours? I was going to say, Sweden should be... We should definitely have Sweden. If we don't have Sweden right now, we've got problems. Our production capacity should be holding up. Looks like we're selling about 60 units right now. We want to get a new unit ready for the beginning of the next year, however. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause the game up right now. We're going to go to the hardware menu. And we're going to start naming things because we're not using default stuff anymore. I do wish you could delete these things, like once you no longer needed them, and take them off the list. But the best you can do for right now is you can name things all the same thing. So let's go ahead. We're going to make a new CPU. It's going to be the 8080. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good. We're going to put some passive cooling on this bitch. We're going to put some VLSI on this. I don't know what VLSI does, but hell, we're going to do it anyways. And we're going to call this one, last name was Mayrock. This one we're going to call Apple Spring Architecture. So there it is. We got the Apple Spring Architecture. And so Apple Spring is done. Boom. And so we're going to name everything Apple Spring that's going to go into our next computer. We've got the DC converter right here. Unfortunately, we can't really do much with that. It's not that good, but, you know, actually, we already have that one invented, so that's not even anything we're going to have to do. Let's go ahead and take that one back. As far as the display goes, we want the glass teletype. Now that we've got glass teletype, oh, this is going to be hyped. Apple Spring. Yes, name that Apple Spring for our next year's model. And so that's a home computer. It's got features. It's got prestige. We'll start the reason I'm trying to get this done now is because we're going to start the R&D process on it so that it's done by like maybe the middle The R&D will be done on it by maybe the middle of January, so we can do an early release. We got Apple Spring 1, Apple Spring 2. We don't have any new memory as far as I know. Let me open up this menu right here. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, we haven't gotten DRAM done yet, so we're just going to use the same memory that we had previously. And then we've got the new processor. We've got that right there. We do have access to keyboards, which is pretty sweet. We got a new OS, which means we can go command line. Hell yeah, there it is. And so our first operating system is going to be called Coyote. So there it is. And so that's our first operating system, Coyote. Other things that we have available to us. I don't know if I can do anything better. So we've got the DIN connector. We can go with PROM. And we can go with VLSI on this one to make it a little bit better. But I don't think we need to. I think PROM... Did we research our new ROM type? No, we wanted EP. Okay, we wanted EPROM. Okay. So we haven't done anything right there. So let's just assemble this thing and see what's going on. So our new computer... It's going to be a home computer, and it's going to be called the Apple Spring. There it is. The memory we're going to be using, just that same old dingy memory we had from before. There it is right there. We'll add that to the computer. As far as the CPU goes, we've got the Apple Spring chipset, so we're going to add that on in to make it a little bit cooler. As far as input devices go, we don't have anything like that just yet. What was I adding? I forgot what I was adding. I clicked on something. Let me go back. The problem right there is that's going to be a UI error right there. When you're building a computer, it actually closes the whole thing out if you don't assign something to the computer, and then you got to restart from scratch. And so we'll go memory real fast. Let me get everything slotted in here. We'll go dip memory, passive cooled. Yes, please. Oh, we don't need that, right? So for the computer, we want that right there. Add to computer. For the CPU, we wanted to get the Apple Spring. Add to computer. GPU and video, we don't have that yet, I don't think. I think we have to have a special connector for keyboards, and I don't think we have that yet, or maybe keyboards haven't been put in the game yet. For our storage medium, we're going to add that to the computer. Power supply, we're still using the same old dingy power supply we had before. Same old MOBO we had before. The next thing that we wanted to do is for our display, we've got the glass teletype. Very nice, giving us a little bit of extra, a little bit of extra oomph right there. A little bit of extra something something, and then we're going to put the Coyote interface in here, which is going to give us a little bit. Our manufacturing price is almost $1,000 per unit. We want to call this Apple Spring. There it is, and we're going to create a prototype for that. And so there it is. We have access to keyboards, but I don't know if they're in the game yet. Keyboards go right here normally, but I haven't been able to. So if we go into hardware, and then we go to new, and we go to input devices, we can't really do anything right there. There's nothing really available, and it's probably due to the fact that this MOBO is not equipped for it. It's not able to, handle what it's supposed to do. So let me go back and see what's going on with our R&D here. Oh, they're actually competing with us over here. That's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. So did I lose England at the beginning of the year? What happens right there? Hold on, something happened. I lost control of countries at the end of the year, and that's a little weird. Why are the colors not lined up? That should still be green. That should definitely be green, because I bought that. Huh. I'm a little bit confused about what happened right here. I still have my facilities on this side. We are not selling a unit anymore. I think you get to package 1 unit per year. And so if we look over here...
Manufacturing capacity.
Hold on, what's going on? Let me go ahead and shut that off real fast. Let me figure out what's going on here. So I need to get into the Apple Spring. Testing and polish is at 21. Are we still selling units of this one right here? Last time I stopped selling units at the end of the year, so I'm a little bit interested in how this is all playing out. Oh yeah, we're still selling 50 units, whatever. We probably want to upgrade this over here so that we can produce a little bit better. So there it is. Over here in Ireland, we've got a factory, level 2, so that should put us at 90,000, so we can sell 90 units per go. We're probably going to need a little bit more. Oh yeah, they're 5 million now. Yikes. Is that what it's going to cost me to put in a base right here too? I think that's just what it cost. So the new computer model is ready to go. So we got to decide if we want to release it or not. Yeah, it looks like they stole Ireland from me, strangely enough. Like, I still have my production over here, but it looks like they're competing with us on that ground. We've still got Cuba and some other places, so that should be alright. I thought we had these islands down here, too, but I guess not. I guess not. I'm gonna buy my way. If IBM wants to go at me like that... I don't really want to buy an industrial site. I just want to add it to my logistics chain. Oh, it's just, are you sure you want to sell in this country? Okay, I get it. I get it now. So there it is. Are you sure you want to sell in this country? Yeah, let's sell in Estonia. We'll start working our way down here. And then we will also sell in Latvia. So there it is. We're selling in both of those countries now. Things should... It should help. I mean, it's not going to get any worse. You know what I mean? Like, let's jump in right here. And I mean, the money's still flowing. So I see no reason to release a new unit if I don't have to. Like, we could. But I'm not entirely convinced that I have to. I'm still making a lot of money. So, if our production capacity... Let's take a look at our computers here. So we're selling roughly... How many units? We're selling about 60 units a day. And so with 60 units a day, that means that our production capacity, we're using up about 2/3 of our production capacity right now. Which to me says that I'm going to need to, we need Recreation 3 in order to make the next factory upgrade. Okay, put in Recreation then. Put in Recreation. We'll also upgrade the offices over here. So there it is, and then in Ireland, we will do something very simple. Put in the recreation facility. We will upgrade logistics to level 2 here. Give me marketing. Give me an upgrade on the lab, please, because we've got money to burn. We're making money faster than I can spend it right now, so why stress? And then we'll also go in on... I don't want to get my upkeep costs too high. I don't want to get my upkeep costs too high. We're going to try and keep it on the DL right now. But there's a few more facilities that we'll have to mess around with.
Your building upgrade has completed.
So I'm trying to take that up to level 3, it looks like. I think we're going. And so how is R&D going right now? R&D is going pretty well. We're currently working on built-in speakers. Built-in speakers. Let's go ahead and release the new product. We might as well. I see no reason not to. Take it to market. Let's do this thing. Wow, we're selling... Oh, shit. I forgot to change the price. Hold on. We'll sell this one at $1,700 as well. There we go. Forgot to update the price. So about 300 people got theirs for free. It is what it is, man. Sometimes you give them away. Sometimes you get them, you know. So our production pipeline is looking pretty good right now. We're making about $100,000 a day. Not bad at all. I think that leaves us a lot of room to grow, in all honesty. So let's take recreation up right now.
Your building upgrade has completed.
I want to make sure that we have lots of facilities to get things finished off. So there we go. Upgrade is back up. Did I cancel the last upgrade? No, it finished. Okay, logistics level 3 is going to require an office level 3. We can afford it. Let's do it. We'll go with some more logistics so we can end up with some more LP. Let's go back to the global view, and let's start thinking about the way that we want to sell around here. So we've taken the world by storm right there. I would like to sell in Lithuania, in all honesty. I'm just going to work my way around right here in Eastern Europe and just see what I can take from other people. Yeah, let's sell in Lithuania. Let's sell in Belarus. Yep. Let's sell in Poland. Absolutely. Do some Polish computer sales right there. And then if I can get into Germany and just really put the screws to these guys, that's what I prefer to do. And so there we go. We actually just we just moved our production to basically all of Northern and Eastern Europe, except for like some of the Central European areas. I mean, we're doing it right now, and we're doing it hard. We're doing it real hard. Our production appears to be...
Upgrade has completed.
Building update is done. Okay, sounds good to me. How we selling right now? How we selling? We've already sold 2,000 units, and it's been less than a month. Oh my god. Dude, we're selling units through the roof right now. We are a market success at the moment, and we're still selling Mayrocks too. That's the thing though, like Apple Spring is killing it right now, but Mayrock is like, it's still selling a couple units here and there. Like, why worry about it? Why worry about it? As far as ease of use goes, yeah, there it is. Turn that whole place green. Let's get it. You know what I mean, Nerd Castle? We got it. All right, so if we have the infrastructure here, That's going to be 150,000 to jump into the Czech Republic. Let's do it. It's going to cost us a little bit to get into Slovakia. Let's do it. We want to go into Ukraine. Ukraine's a big acquisition for us, so let's take Ukraine. Let's do it. Romania. Absolutely. Take Romania. Take Moldova. Get everything you can get. That's all that I care about right now, is that I just want to expand our production pipeline so that we are selling as many units as we physically can. Ah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Manufacturing capacity is topped out right now. If I wanted to do another manufacturing location, I'd have to spend a lot of money over there and simply can't afford it right now. I need level 3 recreation to get that moving, so let's go ahead and get that one up to recreation 2. This guy over here, recreation 3 is what I need. We're making money pretty well right now, and I need my factories to be doing a little bit better because we are making money. We are ahead of the curve. We're making $100,000 a day right now, which is just absolutely fantastic beyond belief. It looks like the Apple Spring is on course for... It looks like the Apple Spring is on course for right now to be the #1 chosen porn downloading device of people globally. We're doing pretty well right now. We're doing pretty well. I'll get back with you once my upgrades are done. Okay, so we've got our level 3 factory being produced right now. That's going to raise our production up to 100,000, which means that we can produce 100 units a day just from this one factory location. Our research is going. I'm upgrading the labs over here. Unfortunately, our overhead is going to get a little bit taller. And so that's something we just can't help right now. Like, our overhead is going to be higher as we start to upgrade some of these things. Like, it is what it is. As your company grows, your overhead is going to get a lot more nasty. So you gotta do what you gotta do. It looks like they're fighting back down here in Ukraine. We're trying. We're trying. In the Czech Republic... No, I don't really want an industrial site. Yeah, I'm working on the manufacturing capacity. I'm doing it. Don't worry. Let's go for Denmark. I want to basically get as much as I can get right now. If I can sell in Iceland, we've already sold in Iceland. Brutal Data is really putting the screws to us over here. There's not much we can do about that, though. I mean, we haven't really put out a new model just yet. And so the sound chip is almost done. That's great. I'm going to make my new computer as soon as the DRAM is done. I think once actually DRAM and EEPROM, I think are going to be the two big ones that we want to get finished off right here. Research is happening, though, at a pretty good rate at this site. That's going to take us around a couple months to get it done. I think if we can go back to the Irish site, we can take a look at our labs over here. There's no requirements over here, other than it's going to cost us some money. That's pretty much it. It's just going to cost us some money. We're selling around 100 units a day right now, which is like, yup. And we're still selling units of the Mayrock too, so why concern yourself with it? I'd like to get a mid-year model out. If we can get a mid-year model out, I'd be happy with it, but I just don't know if... I just don't know. So they're using 45,000 production capacity, or no, they're generating 45,000. I need Recreation 3 over here. Upkeep cost is going to be a little gnarly on that, though. Let me see if I'm making the money that I need. I need to see that tick over one more time. We're making about 50,000. It'll be a hit. It'll hurt, but, I mean... I think our production's probably good for right now, though. Like, it's not complaining about our production capacity anymore. Let's take a look at the world map and see if we can expand somewhere else. Realistically, we want to expand somewhere where performance matters to them. We can't get into Canada just yet. It's too expensive. Cuba, we're doing pretty well. It looks like, actually, in the Dominican Republic, they care about performance a little bit, so that might be a decent acquisition. Our customer base is going to go up by 400,000 right there, and it's not really going to cost us that much. It really sincerely isn't. We're all at LP for right now. I'd like to go for somewhere big, like Colombia or Venezuela next, just to increase our footprint, essentially. We're doing really well in Europe. We're doing incredibly well in Europe, and so I don't think there's a lot to complain about for right now. But we got to wait for a bit more LP to be generated. So in Finland, how are we doing in Finland on research? I think if we can maintain a research edge, that's going to be a big part of whether or not we're going to be successful here. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade so we can have a research edge. Man, I really want that DRAM to get done, but I don't know if we're going to be able to wait for it. I don't know if we're going to be able to wait for it at all. Give me increased noise reduction up here, too. I'd like to see SCSI and that kind of stuff get done, but frankly, hard disk drive would be a smart idea. Tape drive wouldn't be the worst idea either. A composite monitor, maybe. time sharing, a time sharing operating system, so no application keep the computer and resources forever. That's why Linux didn't freeze back in the day, but Windows and multi-user stuff. So graphical interface, okay. I don't think we need that just yet. It's still the 70s, so we can probably wait on that. BIOS is probably a good invention to add right here. The ability to actually control your hardware through software that's open to the end user is a really good idea. Back before BIOS, everything was just rigged together to talk to each other, so if you didn't have one part, you needed like the full rig because it all spoke to each other and all relied on everything being there. With BIOS, you can tap things in and you can upgrade the BIOS to be compatible with other things so that now you can like hot swap items, and it's just nice. Like, users just like being able to do stuff like that. We are not making as much money right now. This place has gotten expensive real fast. I'd be lying if I said we weren't going to have to push out a mid-year model. We're absolutely going to have to. Unless sales just slowed down for a minute, but we're still making like 30 grand a rollover, so I think it'll be okay. We've sold over 10,000 units on this in less than 6 months, dude. We've done a great job right here. Like, this is absolutely fantastic. You can tell I used to do IT, and I'm fascinated with computer building, and I was a hardware guy. And so, like, this game actually really speaks to me. This is one of those games that I get really hyped about when I'm playing it because it's just entertaining. It's just an entertaining title. It really sincerely is. Nobody can afford to get into any of these locations. If we could snipe Spain early, might be an okay idea. We'll have to wait on our LP allotment. Let's go ahead and speed up time for a little bit, see how much money we make for the next couple days. So we've maintained a pretty good stranglehold over Europe over the last month or so that I let the game run. We've got a pretty solid grip on it. I think if we can get DRAM out, it's going to be a game changer for us. I think that we're going to be able to mash the competition pretty hard. I'm not really planning on moving a new unit until next year, but when we do, it's going to be pretty good. I mean, it's going to have DRAM. It's going to have EEPROM for the motherboard. It's going to have a BIOS for the motherboard. It's going to be increased electrical noise reduction. Apparently, that just makes the system more stable and makes it more quality. We're going to have SCSI adapters more than likely. That's for hard drives. SCSI is what came right before what we're doing now. God, my brain is escaping me right now. It's been too long since I've done IT. It's been a good decade since I did IT. My IT history is escaping me at the moment because, frankly, it's just been too long since I've done it. But I'm really stoked about the future of our company. I think we're doing really well, and I think that if I can maintain and I can make sure that we have the edge, I think we're going to do really well this year. I really sincerely do. We're researching at like a pretty phenomenal rate. We're holding on to Europe all right. I don't think we're struggling too hard with that. Our logistics could ideally be a little bit better, but I'm afraid to spend money right now is my problem. Let's go ahead and I'm going to upgrade my logistics. Sure, why not? We need an Office 3 to do that, so let's take up Office 3. Over here, we already have Logistics 3. I'd like to take up a little bit more marketing, too. Let's focus on our marketing protocols. So we are done with DRAM. We just got DRAM done, which is fantastic, and we should mash this out in about 50 days. I think we're on course to have a really bang-up unit next year. I think we sincerely are. I think we're in a good spot. In Ireland, we could spend the $5 million to get another production location if we wanted to. Take marketing up to level 2, please. And then as far as logistics are concerned, I'm not bleeding money yet, but I am definitely taking a hit right now. The amount of money we're making has gone down. And it might be a slowdown in sales, but I don't think so. We're still selling over 100 units. And so I wouldn't stress too much about it. It's just that our operating costs are going up. We're preparing for next year is essentially what it comes down to. And we're going to try and blow these cats off the map next year if we can. We're going to try. We don't have any LP, though. We're going to have to wait for the year to roll over to get that going. As far as research is concerned, we're getting there on EEPROM. Oh, dude, this is so good. I'm really excited about launching next year. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be really rad. Oh my god, we're going to clear BIOS before the end of the year. This is actually surpassing all my expectations for what our R&D was going to do here. And so we just invented BIOS technology. And so we'll go with increased electrical noise reduction next. And then from there, dude, we're going to drop hard with our new unit. We really sincerely are. And so I'd like to get the new unit in, and I'd like to get the new unit product tested before we go up to, the next episode or whatever. But there it is. We got it. It's all in the bag now. Boom.
have
new
researched
technology.
new
So let's add some new
technology.
stuff on here. I'd like to have sim chips. Sim chips are good. You saw those occasionally when I was working in... You saw them every now and again when I was working in IT. So we'll put sim chips on there. It's going to be expensive. We want hard disk drives, obviously. I would love to have integrated audio. Would actually be great. Ooh, Sound Blaster. Good lord. That's taking it back to my childhood. All right. Let's go with XT Standard as well and an auto sensing adapter. I'd like to take XT Standard up, and we're going to do that before the joystick. I'm going to take that up as well, which means it's a new semiconductor, I suppose. Then what we want to do is we're going to build our new computer system. How about that? Let's build a new computer. So actually, I need to build the hardware first. All right, so the new hardware. So we don't have a new CPU to play around with. We're still using the Apple Springs, I think. So we're not going to be able to do much right there. The things that we've made advancements on, though, is that we have BIOS on the Mobo. And so we can go with BIOS. Built-in speakers, we can go with a sound chip. Absolutely, sounds good to me. We can go with EEPROM. So there it is. That's going to make that a little bit more feature complete. And then instead of... Oh, actually So we've got a sound chip. Put that back on. I think the stuff in white is the stuff that we have right now. Passive cooling on there. I mean, make this thing dope. Make this thing hella dope. Make this thing crack. And that's exactly what we're going to call it. We're going to call it Kraken. So there it is. Our new Kraken Mobo. We wanted to put in, instead of the motherboard, we've got new memory. And so we're going to go with DRAM for right now. And then we're going to go with, I think, passive cooling and that right there. So that's going to look pretty good. 67,000 for that. That's going to be our Kraken memory set. Boom. We're still going to be using the Coyote OS as far as I know. Our displays, we're still using glass teletype. So yeah, we've still got glass teletype, so that's not going to be an option. As far as our OS goes, we're still using command line interface, so that's okay. As far as memory goes, we've already got that. The GPU, we've actually got DRAM over here. And so we will passive cool the DRAM right there. And we'll call that part of the Kraken interface. So there it is, the Kraken chipset. So we've actually got a graphics card now, which is pretty wild. We've got storage units right here. Are we still using Winchester, or did we get SCSI done? Where's SCSI at on the list? SCSI's being worked on. That sucks, because I'd like to release with SCSI. But I don't know if it's going to get done in time. It's 6. That's going to take us 50-something days. So we could wait till the beginning of the year to do it, but I don't think that's a good idea. Instead, I think I would just stick with what we have going on right now. As far as storage goes, we don't need anything right there. Mobo's looking good. Power supply, we do actually have a new power supply. And so we can either go with the AC-DC inverter. No, I don't want to do that. They do need a way to go back in the menus, too. There's no way to go back in menus, unfortunately. So on here, what I'd like to do is alkaline. You know, I don't think that's a good idea. I thought we had something better here. Did we do the XT architecture yet? No, XT's not done yet, so XT will be next year. Okay, so let's just build a new computer then. Let's build this thing. It's going to be the Kraken home computer, because what's Kraken? You know what's Kraken. We got the Kraken memory set right there. Add it to the computer. As far as the CPU goes, we're still going to be using the Apple Spring CPU right there. We're going to go with the GPU, though, for sure. Put the Kraken on there. Storage is going to be the Winchester, as per usual. Power supply is going to be the same one we've been running for a little bit. Mobo-wise, we're going to go with the Kraken Mobo. So there it is. And we're going to go with the operating system. We're going to have Coyote. And then for our display, once again, we're going with that right there. And so feature-wise, it's looking great. Ease of use is looking pretty good. Quality is looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and we'll name that the Kraken, and we will create the prototype. And so there it is. Let's go ahead and let this thing test on up, and I'm hoping we can make a lot of money next year. It's going to cost us $2 grand to sell this beast, but hopefully people will overlook it if they find out how goddamn awesome this thing is. And as you can see, the prestige for the unit goes up as we push this forward. Although I don't think prestige is entirely too relevant, in all honesty. Ooh, we can't push it out for a Christmas release, but that's okay. We're going to miss it. We'll miss the Christmas release. That's fine. This is Christmas time. This is Christmas time. Everyone get in line. Buy your shit. All right, and let's take this thing to market. It's going to be set at $2,000. All right, so our model's good to go. We're going to take this thing up. We're going to sell it at 2,000 per unit. And let's hope for the best here. I think the Kraken's going to sell pretty well. Let's do this thing. And so looking at our computer supplies right now, we have already sold 100 units a day. And so that's actually brought our money up nice and smooth. 36,000 units sold of the Apple Spring. That was a trendsetter right there, man. That's not a ton of units, but I mean, for the time, that's a lot of units sold. It looks like it's still selling a couple of units. It's still selling a couple of units, but it's not the newest, greatest thing, you know what I mean? And people want the new stuff. My name is Splattercat. This game is called Computer Tycoon. Hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. I will see you all in the next episode because we will absolutely be playing more. Bye, everybody, and I will see you all there. Hi, do.